Hi, my name is Rennie Doyle. I'm with Detailing Success. Every week, day after day, I get 20, 30 questions just on various things, different topics within the detailing industry of how I do this, how I do that. What I've decided to do is every 2, 3, 4 weeks or so is to put a video together and answer some of these questions online. And that way, with so many repetitive questions coming my direction, hopefully we can help out a lot more people than just me trying to answer questions one-on-one. It's a pretty tough thing. So, one of the most common questions I hear is, hey, Rennie, if you had to do it all over again, what would you do? If you're going to start at square one and open up a automotive service business, anything, not just detailing, but PDR or repair, window repair, tinting, any of that, what would you do? First thing, I'm really big on mentors. The first thing I do is make sure that I've got some great mentors in place. What mentors do for you? A lot of people entering this industry are young. You might have business experience, might even have a business degree. That's great, but you've got one thing going against you. Your age. You don't have a lot of life experiences and so forth, and you don't have a lot of exposures. Now, does that mean that you're going to fail? No. It just means that you want to get an old guy like me to back you up and give you some wisdom and so forth. Now, the mentors I pick out, I'm really, really careful about, and here's why. A lot of times we go to family members, friends, and so forth, but they might even be a Fortune 500 CEO, or they work in a plant, or they work for a small business or a mid-sized business. They might not have any small business experience, or they might not be familiar with the aftermarket automotive sector of business. So now, do they have to? Do my mentors come from the automotive industry? Most not. Most aren't. I've got a couple that do that are in there, but most don't. But I'm more looking for people that have got good lifetime experiences, have been in business, have started up a small business, and understand small business. Now, one of my main mentors in my life is a guy that's the founder of a major product here in the U.S. It's on TV all the time. He sees the big picture, and what he does is he helps me come back. I'm about a nap of the earth guy. I like to follow the contour of the earth. This guy's sitting back in Mars. He sees a universe that I've never seen before. So he's brought me back from nap of the earth, running really close to the earth, back into a perspective to where I'm about 30,000 feet up, seeing a larger perspective of the earth and of business, of what's going on. And so he's a great mentor. One of my other mentors is a small business owner. He's been in business. I've mentioned Walt Stankiewicz many times. Walt, if you're watching, I love you, buddy. Walt's a great guy, and he understands small business. He was the vice president of a large tech company back in the 80s in Breakout, and he did extremely well. Got into small business. He's mentored me for many, many years in several businesses, and he's an important element of my life. Bill Bartell, another small business guy. So I vary. Bill he was in the heating and air conditioning industry, and he mentored me on a different level and kind of gave me reality checks of what was going to happen, overspending and so forth. So there's also SCORE. You can go to your local SCORE, which is a group of retired or semi-retired professionals, and many times executives or business owners that help people like you and I out. So the first thing I'm going to do if I start over again is I'm going to go find those mentors so I can start passing them some things by them. Now, do I have one mentor? Do I have two? Well, I always have an odd number. I have to have 5 or 7 myself that I balance people. Now, some of these people I talk to on a daily basis, some weekly, some quarterly, some once or twice a year. Okay, so it varies. But my main mentors I'm in contact with at least once a week. Okay, so I have a nice little pocket. Now, sometimes they change. You know, people's lives are going to change. They're going to move away and so forth. I've got mentors in Idaho. I've got mentors in California. I've got mentors all over the country, and so they don't have to be. Jim back in Boston's a great guy. We're co-workers. We're in the industry the same age. Jim gives me a different perspective on things, and so you can see that mentors are really important. And I think it's the easiest thing to do, but it's very hard to find the right one. So be careful when you're choosing. The next one is I would do my market research to no end. Okay, your due diligence. Don't just assume that your market's good for detailing. Go out and find out if your market's good for detailing. Now, how do you know? How do you judge a market? Well, if you feel that you're maybe not judging it correctly, you don't have the tools or the knowledge to do it, you're going to have to link up with somebody that does. There's a lot of us around the industry that have been around a long time that can offer you assistance and so forth. Now, is that going to be free? hey, nothing worth value is free. If you're not willing to invest into your business and yourself, you're at the wrong website, okay? You can get all the free information and everything, but if you expect to call these different guys in the industry and just pick their brains for free, they're going to help you out a little bit, but at some time, you're going to have to be willing to invest into your future, okay? So make sure to look at your market segment. Now, some say, oh, I want to go into a big market, or I want to go, I live in too small of a community. Listen, the Attention to Details, the company that we started over a dozen years ago, it was started in a community. The whole county was only 20,000 people, but it was very, very wealthy people. Those 20,000 of them, there was a lot of wealth in that area. So you can go in a small community. Very large. Sometimes they're so saturated with detailing, it might be a little harder. But it also depends on a lot of things like your connections in the community, how well you know people, and then your own personality. How fast can you go out and build those relationships, nurture the relationships, and then start taking business from other people? So, Dallas, Texas, I've assisted at putting offices there. I've assisted at putting offices in Miami, all over the country. And you can go in and gain market share. You've just got to have the skills to do it. Next on the list, number 3, is you've got to be funded. Okay, you've got to have enough money. Now, Attention to Details, we're going to do another video here in the next several weeks. I started on a shoestring. It was almost nothing. But I came back I had a lot of business experience. I had owned several small businesses. I had a lot of lifetime experience. I had a lot of great mentors and so forth. I was well studied and versed in business, and I knew how to launch it. That's what I did for a large corporation out of Europe, was help them develop new business platforms. So I had some experience there. I had no money. So you can do it without money, but if I had to do it right, and if I had to do it again, I would be properly funded. Now, a lot of you are going to ask, what's properly funded? How much do I need? Again, it depends. Are you going to go fixed operation? Are you going to go mobile? What services are you going to offer? You're just going to go after detailing? Are you going to get trained? If you're not going to get trained, do you know what you're doing? Because I guarantee you that your competition's out there, and they've invested something, maybe not a lot, but they've invested something into their knowledge base. So they've already got 2 heads up on you. They're in business already, and they might have more experience than you do. That's kind of limited in the detailing business, okay? Not hard to take these guys out. But if you don't know what you're doing, you don't have enough money to do it, it's going to be tough, okay? Lastly, be educated. Now, does this mean that you've got to have be an MBA out of Harvard to succeed? Absolutely not. Matter of fact, there was a guy that I did business with, we did some product development with. He was an MBA, and he sat there every time we'd meet and tell me everything that was wrong with my company. And then just a few years into the relationship, he takes several thousands of dollars of our money into bankruptcy with him. And so, here's education, real life experiences. You've got to know how to detail. If you're going to go out and start a detailing company or a PDR company or a windshield repair company, headlight restoration, any of that, you're going to offer any of these services, you got to know what you're doing. And if you think that you're going to go out and earn while you learn, good luck. That's a rough way to go. Is it doable? You bet. A lot of people done it. I'm an old school detailer, grew up in Southern California, learned to detail from the old school detailers in Southern California, and was mentored at a very young age. Started this whole gig when I was 13 years old. So I had a lot of time put into it, okay? If you don't have that time to put into it, if you're 20, 30, 40, 50 years old and you're going to launch into this, you got to start starting out raw, not knowing what you're doing. That's a risky move. You've got to know how to detail, and you've got to know business. You've got to have some good sense. Start reading books. There's a lot on the internet. You can't learn detailing necessarily from the internet. You can learn a lot of information. You also got to look at the source that you're getting it from. There's a lot of good detailers out there. I can name several right now that are some of the best detailers in the world, but they're not making any money. Okay? So what good does that do? I mean, you might as well go get a job. If you ain't making any money and you don't have any lifestyle, it's not worth it, is it? So real quickly, those are the key things that I would do. That's the early stages. Now, we're going to kind of progress on this as time goes and include more options, but come on back to the home site every once in a while. We're going to have these videos. If you want to submit a question to me, video questions get top response. And, hey, happy detailing. Take care. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.